How Women Secretly Choose Their Men, Old Stoic Wisdom. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Unveils, Aristotle. Many men believe women decide solely based on looks or wealth. The truth is far more profound. Women don't always select the best man on paper. Instead, they respond to something far deeper: primal instincts, emotional resonance, and an unspoken sense of trust that bypasses logic. A smile or flirtation isn't always a sign of being chosen. Attraction is only the surface, and attention doesn't equal commitment. Women observe quietly, testing in subtle, unpredictable ways, forming judgments long before they ever voice them. That's why a flawless date can end in silence. It's not about your effort or value, but about what their subconscious is truly seeking beneath the surface. This message reveals what genuinely influences a woman's choice, not what she says she wants, but what her biology, emotions, and intuition are tuned to recognize. If you're done guessing and want to move beyond being just fun to becoming the man she commits to, keep reading. When you grasp the 5 silent laws of female selection, you won't just attract attention, you'll draw in the right woman. One who respects you, desires you, and chooses you confidently. Not because you pleaded for it, but because you've become the man who naturally commands it. Rule 1. Women choose men who make them feel safe to surrender, not safe to control. Many men mistakenly believe women seek emotional safety in softness or endless sympathy. This is wrong. Women don't want a therapist or a man who folds under pressure. They want a leader, a man calm in chaos, sharp under stress, silent under pressure. That kind of man doesn't collapse when tested. He remains still, focused, and grounded. This stillness, this self-possession, gives her the freedom to relax into her feminine energy without fear or resistance. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "It is better to be impetuous than cautious, because fortune is a woman." This means feminine energy does not surrender to predictability or weakness, but to grounded dominance, boldness, clarity, and strength. The woman, like fortune, submits not to control, but to those who command, with unwavering confidence and purpose. Imagine you're at a social gathering. She's noticing you for the first time. You don't shout or seek her approval. You speak calmly, listen intently, and move with clear direction. Other men try to impress with noise and flash, but you stand unbothered, solid, unshakable. She senses it, even if she can't explain why, and that silent strength intrigues her deeply. If you're in a relationship, she may bring up a sensitive issue, maybe an ex or a moment of insecurity. If you react defensively, justifying or explaining yourself endlessly, you lose her trust. But if you hold your ground, breathe deeply, listen without flinching, you become her anchor. She may cry, yell, or test you, but inside, she feels safe because you show you can handle her emotions without losing yourself. You must train your nervous system to be responsive, not reactive. The most powerful men don't get swept away by rising emotions. They slow their breath, control their bodies, and speak less, letting their presence communicate what words cannot. Women don't fall for men who chase emotional approval. They fall for men who remain unmoved by emotional storms, men who stand still when chaos threatens to break them. As Machiavelli might advise, you cannot control the storm, but you can learn to be the calm eye within it. This is not about being cold or unfeeling. It is about commanding respect through strength, resilience, and emotional mastery. Real leadership means accepting the storm's challenge without losing your center. When you embody this, you create an environment where she can let down her defenses and be truly vulnerable. That vulnerability is the doorway to deep connection, passion, and lasting trust. Remember, strength isn't loud, it's quiet, confident, and unwavering. As the great philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." You must be the man with that why, grounded in your purpose, unwavering in your presence. That is how women choose their men, not by charm or empty promises, but by the strength you radiate quietly. So don't chase approval or softness. Be the calm in her storm. Lead her with strength, not control. Stand tall when tested. Train your mind and body to respond, not react. And when she tests you, hold firm, because in that firmness, she finds her safety and her desire. That is old Stoic wisdom for the modern man. It is a call to action. Embody that strength in your daily life, in your relationships, and share your experience. Rule 2. Women choose men who communicate with clarity and intention. Rule 2 is not a suggestion. It is a command carved from the deepest wells of ancient wisdom and modern truth. Women choose men who communicate with crystal clear clarity and unwavering intention. Listen carefully. Ambiguity is your enemy. It's the silent poison that seeps into relationships, breeding doubt, confusion, and mistrust. A man who wavers, who speaks in half measures and hedges his words, loses his power and his place in her heart. If you want to be the man who commands respect, who earns unwavering trust, you must know exactly what you want and communicate it with calm authority, no pressure, no second-guessing, no apologies. This is not about manipulation or playing games. It is about wielding the rarest and most potent form of power, a power rooted in honesty, integrity, and absolute transparency. Women sense strength when a man's words align perfectly with his actions. They feel safe when his intentions are clear, even if the truth isn't what they hoped for. Because clarity is more than truth. Clarity is security. Clarity is the fortress that shields a relationship from chaos and unnecessary drama. If you are single, the time for vague promises and wishy-washy answers is over. Be brutally honest about your availability, your desires, and your boundaries. Do it unapologetically. Do not soften your message to please or avoid conflict. Clarity is not just communication. It is a declaration of your self-worth and the standards you hold for your life and relationships. Women are wired to detect weakness behind hesitation and to reject it. When you speak clearly and stand by your words, you command respect without demanding it. If you are in a relationship, lead every conversation with openness and directness. This creates emotional safety, the most precious currency in any partnership, and cuts through the noise of miscommunication that fuels drama and distrust. Emotional safety is not negotiable. It is the foundation upon which trust is built, and trust is the bedrock of love. As the Stoics taught, say what you mean what you say. Your clarity should be sharp, unwavering, and consistent. This is how you become unforgettable. Consider the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." Your actions must echo your words perfectly. If your intentions are foggy, if your words contradict your deeds, you sow confusion and insecurity. You rob yourself the power to lead, to attract, and to hold. Women do not choose men who hide behind silence or evade tough conversations. They choose men who own their truth, who bring light to shadows, who offer certainty in a chaotic world. Your clarity is your sword and shield. It cuts away doubt and guards against betrayal. Be the man who does not hesitate or shrink from the truth. Speak your desires clearly and set your boundaries firmly. That is your power. That is your magnetism. Remember this. The modern world is flooded with noise, endless distractions, mixed signals, and emotional uncertainty. To rise above this chaos, you must be the beacon of clarity. You must become the man who offers certainty and direction. Women crave a partner who communicates with intention because it signals strength, reliability, and emotional maturity. This is your battlefield advantage. This is how you stand out in a sea of confusion. Speak clearly, act decisively, lead with purpose. Do not let fear of rejection or conflict silence your voice. As Theodore Roosevelt declared, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena. Be that man in the arena. Speak clearly, act with intention, own your space, own your life. If you want to become irresistible, if you want to build relationships that thrive on trust and respect, you must master the art of clear communication. This is your edge. This is your strength. This is how you move from uncertainty to certainty, from invisibility to unforgettable presence. Women do not fall for hesitation. They are drawn to men who lead with confidence and clarity. Do not be the man who leaves her guessing. Be the man who sets the course, who holds the map, who guides the journey with unwavering certainty. That is how you win. That is how you own your power. Now, it's time to act. Don't settle for being another voice lost in the crowd. Stand out, command respect, speak with clarity and intention every time. Let your words be a declaration of your strength and your vision. If you are ready to own this power, comment below with one word: clarity. Like, share, and subscribe to become the man who leads with purpose and lives life on his terms. Remember, clarity is not just communication, it is mastery. It is your pathway to success, respect, and unforgettable influence. Choose clarity, own your power, dominate your destiny. Rule 3. Women choose men who are desired by others. Understand this. Attraction is never isolated. It's not about who you think you are, it's about who the world acknowledges you to be. Machiavelli, a master of power and influence, nailed it. Power is not what you hold, but how others perceive you. Women don't pick men in a vacuum. They instinctively scan the world for signals. If you're invisible to others, you're invisible to her. If people respect you, talk about you, admire you, something primal in her shifts, you transform from just a man into a coveted prize. This is not speculation, it is a law of human nature. When you enter a room, do not seek validation. Validation is for the weak. Instead, command presence so strong that others acknowledge it without your asking. Speak with weight. Let your confidence ripple through the room like a silent force. Notice how others react. No need to prove anything. Your value is self-evident. When another woman gives you a subtle compliment, or a glance lingers a moment too long, she notices. She feels it. The fact that others desire you changes everything. Suddenly, your attention becomes rare currency, a valuable offering that means something. If you are in a relationship, hear this clearly. Do not allow comfort to dull your edge. Years together are no excuse to grow complacent or soft. Keep ascending, physically, socially, mentally. Elevate yourself relentlessly. Maintain respect outside your relationship. Let other women notice you, but do not flaunt it. Own it silently. Let friends seek your counsel. Let your reputation grow. Because deep down, she senses this power. She knows she is fortunate to hold your presence and that she must continue earning it. Build quiet power. Strengthen your reputation, your physique, your purpose. Not to chase fleeting admiration, but to create an irresistible gravitational pull. A man respected by others never begs for attention. Attention seeks him out. Machiavelli famously said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." In modern life, translate this to relationships. Be admired first. Let love follow. You are not just a partner, you are a force. You are not an option, you are a prize. You must own this truth. Don't wait for her to notice you. Create a world where she can't help but notice. Become the man others want, the man women want by their very nature. Not because you chase it, but because you embody it. This is the secret that every man who has ever captivated a woman has understood intuitively. So stand tall, build that reputation. Let the world recognize your worth. You'll never need to ask for attention. It will come to you naturally, and when it does, you will know you have mastered the ancient wisdom of silent power, the stoic command of presence that moves mountains and opens doors. If this message speaks to you, don't stay silent. Comment your commitment to rise, and subscribe for more truths that will sharpen your edge and transform your life. Say it loud. I am a man of value. I attract respect and admiration naturally. Don't wait. Own it now. Rule 4. Women choose men who lead emotionally. Women choose men who lead emotionally, and this truth is a cornerstone of timeless wisdom that echoes from Machiavelli to the Stoics. Machiavelli taught us that true power doesn't come from shouting orders or forcing control. It lies in setting the tone so others adjust to your presence naturally without even realizing it. In the realm of love, this power manifests as emotional leadership. Whether she openly admits it or not, A woman is constantly observing one vital question. Can you remain solid when emotions run wild? Can you stay grounded while she spirals through chaos? The man who becomes her emotional anchor, the steady force amid her storm, becomes the only man she truly chooses. If you are single, understand this. A woman's playful warmth one day and distant chill the next isn't indecisiveness. It's her test of your stability. Most men fall into the trap of chasing harder when she pulls back, mirroring her fluctuating mood like a pendulum caught in her emotional storm. But you must rise above this cycle. You don't change your pace or lose your calm. You stay focused, amused, and unbothered, flirting without need or desperation. You lead her energy effortlessly, and before she knows it, she is following your mood without even realizing it. If you're already in a relationship, picture this scenario. Dinner turns into an emotional battlefield, loud, chaotic, stormy. You do not raise your voice, nor do you retreat into silence. Instead, you remain centered. You pause, you hold your frame firmly. Through your calm, she finds safety, not because you agreed with her or placated the storm, but because you refuse to let her chaos move you. This is the essence of emotional leadership. When her feelings surge, never match the intensity. Instead, model what peace looks like. Remember Machiavelli's words, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." Don't wait for the storm to pass. Be the calm she submits to from the start. Women do not choose the loudest, most volatile man. They choose the one who quietly rules the emotional atmosphere. This is no empty advice. In real life, men who master this art find themselves more attractive, more trusted, and more deeply connected, because emotional stability is the foundation of all lasting relationships. You must learn to be the calm in her storm, the steady presence she can lean on without fear. Stop chasing chaos. Start mastering it. Remember the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You must react with unwavering composure. When you do this, you don't just survive emotional tempests, you command them. Your role is not to be swept away, but to be the rock she can't help but choose. So take this lesson seriously. It's not about controlling her emotions, it's about mastering your own. Show her the man who leads emotionally and watch how naturally she follows. Rule 5. Women choose men who aren't afraid to walk away. Machiavelli, centuries ago, understood a profound truth. The strongest ruler is not the one who desperately clings to power, but the one who can relinquish the crown without losing himself. Power does not belong to the most agreeable, nor to the man who pleads and compromises endlessly. It belongs to the man who values himself so deeply that he's willing to lose everything: status, approval, even love, except his own integrity and boundaries. This ancient wisdom translates directly to love and attraction. A woman may cherish your loyalty, but what she respects most is your clarity about where you draw the line. She watches closely, always testing. Will you sacrifice your limits just to hold on to her? If you do, you lose not just her respect, but your own. This is the silent truth that many men never grasp. Love does not thrive on desperation. It flourishes in the space created by respect and self-possession. If you're single, you know the game all too well. She's inconsistent, one day warm and engaged, the next distant and cold. She flakes on plans. She tests your patience like a stone tossed into still water. Most men respond by explaining themselves endlessly, by trying harder, by becoming predictable and desperate. But that is exactly what you must avoid. Instead, walk away. Not with anger, not with a grand farewell or a desperate plea, but simply vanish from her immediate world. No drama, no revenge, no justification. This is your power. Your silence speaks louder than words. Suddenly, she sees you differently. You're not like the others who chase endlessly. You chase something greater: truth and self-respect. This kind of withdrawal, calm and unwavering, forces a woman to recognize your value, not because you begged for it, but because you refuse to compromise who you are to gain it. You become a mystery, a challenge, a man who demands to be earned, not given. For those in relationships, this principle is even more critical. Imagine this scenario. You have established clear boundaries at home, standards that reflect your worth and values. She crosses those boundaries again and again. The instinct for many men is to raise their voices, to plead, to show pain and disappointment in hopes she will change. But true strength lies elsewhere. You do not lose your calm, nor do you beg for respect. Instead, you pull back your presence, your energy, your attention, your availability. You withdraw, not as a punishment, but as a declaration of self-respect. And this time, you do not return immediately. The silence you create is a force more potent than anger or argument. No man is more feared than the one who walks away without fear. His absence speaks volumes about his worth, about what he demands from the relationship and from himself. This is the kind of man who holds the true power because he refuses to be diminished or controlled. Here is the subtle but vital strategy. Detach your identity from her affection. Do not make her the prize you must win or keep at all costs. Make your peace, your self-worth, and your boundaries the real prize. If she repeatedly violates those boundaries, do not waste energy on arguments or attempts to explain. Instead, exit the situation. Walk away not from hate or bitterness, but from a place of self-love and clarity. This is not weakness, it is the ultimate strength. The ability to prioritize your own peace over someone else's approval is a mark of a man who understands what he truly deserves. Machiavelli's wisdom rings clear here. If being loved requires you to abandon yourself, then being feared, respected, and honored for your strength is the only honorable path. The man who cannot be controlled, who refuses to beg or plead, is the man a woman never forgets. He is the man who commands her attention without desperation, the man whose absence makes her question everything she thought she wanted. Walking away is not giving up. It is standing tall in the face of uncertainty and valuing yourself more than any fleeting approval. That is the old Stoic wisdom. Power is held by those who are willing to lose everything but themselves. In modern life, this means stop clinging to relationships that demand your surrender. Stand firm in your values, hold your limits sacred, and know that true respect and lasting attraction comes only when you refuse to lose yourself trying to hold onto someone else. Be that man. Rule 6. Women choose men who embody purpose beyond the relationship. A man's true value is never measured solely by how well he treats a woman in the moment, but rather by what drives him when she's not watching. Women instinctively sense purpose. It's the quiet force that fuels a man's actions and defines his character. They are drawn to men who carry a mission, a passion, or a cause greater than themselves, a purpose that demands dedication and resilience. This sense of purpose creates a depth that no superficial charm or fleeting attention can match. It signals strength, independence, and the kind of unshakable foundation that every woman craves, whether she realizes it or not. You are not merely a man who is available. You are a man who is becoming someone significant, someone who matters in the broader scope of life. As Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." This means your purpose becomes the anchor that steadies you through challenges and attracts others not because of what you offer momentarily, but because of who you are becoming consistently. If you are single, do not make the mistake of hiding your ambitions or burying your goals in silence. Speak of them subtly through your actions rather than empty boasts. Ambition and discipline reveal themselves naturally when you wake up every day to pursue something meaningful. You must become a man whose life is ruled by intention rather than circumstance. This is what separates the man who is passively waiting for love from the man who is actively living a life worth loving. Show her your purpose through your everyday choices, your habits, your work ethic, your relentless pursuit of growth. This is the magnetic force that draws women closer, even if they don't voice it. On the other hand, if you are in a relationship, beware of losing yourself entirely in her world. Many men fall into the trap of surrendering their own passions to cater exclusively to their partner's needs or desires. Do not fall into this trap. Maintain your individuality and keep chasing what fuels your spirit. The balance between being present for your woman and relentlessly pursuing your own growth is the true definition of attractiveness. It is the equilibrium of confidence and resilience that makes you not just desirable, but indispensable. Remember the wisdom of Theodore Roosevelt. Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those timid spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in a grey twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. Your purpose is your mighty thing, your mission that colours your world with meaning. Without it, you risk becoming just another face in the crowd, a man who exists but does not truly live. Purpose gives you strength to stand tall when times get tough and to be a beacon of stability and inspiration to those around you. Women are attuned to this energy and will choose a man who is a lighthouse in the storm over one who is merely a passing shadow. The Stoic wisdom embedded in this rule is clear. You must own your purpose, or you will lose your power. In real life, this means making deliberate choices every day that align with your bigger picture. Whether it's dedicating time to mastering a craft, nurturing a vision, or giving yourself to a cause, these are the acts that build a legacy far beyond fleeting relationships. Don't be fooled into thinking that loving a woman means losing yourself. It means showing her how much richer your love is, because it comes from a life lived with intention. The strongest men are those who do not simply exist for others, but have a mission that defines them independently. This is the essence of real strength and attractiveness. So take this truth seriously. Do not let your relationship become the only defining element of your identity. You must cultivate purpose, ambition, and resilience. Be a man who commands respect, not just by his presence, but by the life he is building outside of any relationship. That is the man women seek quietly, but unmistakably. You must be that man. Share your thoughts below. How do you balance your purpose with your relationships? What drives you beyond the immediate? Let your voice be heard in the comments and inspire others to find their true path. Rule 7. Women choose men who master the art of patience and timing. Rule 7 reveals a timeless truth. Women choose men who have mastered the art of patience and timing. This is not about passivity or weakness. It's about strength wrapped in restraint. Rushing through connection kills attraction faster than almost anything else. Women inherently sense when a man is pushing too hard, when he's trying to sprint through a process that demands careful steps. The connection between a man and a woman is a delicate dance, not a race to the finish line. This dance requires rhythm, attentiveness, and an understanding that every moment holds weight. Patience is not simply waiting, it is a deliberate act that communicates profound respect. Respect for her as a person, respect for yourself as a man, and respect for the sacred process of building something real. When you practice patience, you create anticipation. Anticipation breeds excitement and intrigue, making every interaction more charged with meaning. This is how trust is formed, not instantly, but steadily over time. If you are single, this means do not rush texts, phone calls, or meetings. Let momentum develop naturally. When you force speed, you show a lack of confidence in the process and in yourself. Women appreciate a man who knows his value and does not scramble for attention. This kind of patience sends a clear message. You are a man who understands that true connection cannot be hurried. It must grow layer by layer, like the rings of a tree, strong and enduring. On the other hand, if you're already in a relationship, patience takes on an even deeper role. You must have patience with her moods, which can fluctuate like the weather. You must be patient with the pace of commitment, understanding that not all steps forward happen overnight. And you must have patience with challenges, because no meaningful relationship is without obstacles. When a man demonstrates patience through these trials, he builds a foundation no storm can topple. This foundation is not built on grand gestures alone, but on consistent, steady presence and calm resolve. Timing is power. Learn to wield it like a weapon and a shield. Acting too soon or too late can break the fragile thread of attraction and trust. Knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to move forward and when to hold back, defines the man who commands respect and desire. This is ancient wisdom, echoed through Stoic philosophy and the experiences of generations before us. Control your impulses, master your emotions, and act with purpose. In modern life, where instant gratification is king and patience is scarce, this rule becomes more relevant than ever. The digital age tempts you to speed up every interaction. Texts demand immediate replies, social media feeds bombard you with options, and dating apps push for fast decisions. Resist this. Stand firm in the old Stoic wisdom. Let your restraint be your power. When you slow down, you create space for genuine connection to breathe. You show a woman that you are a man of depth, not desperation. You teach yourself discipline, which is the backbone of all success in life and love. Remember, impatience is the enemy of attraction. Don't give it a foothold. When you rush, you reveal insecurity. When you wait with calm confidence, you reveal strength. Women sense this truth intuitively. They are drawn to men who hold their own ground, who do not bend to the frantic pace of modern dating. Your patience becomes a magnet, pulling her in closer, inviting her to invest her own time and heart in the dance. The power of timing also applies beyond the initial stages of romance. It extends to how you handle conflict, how you make decisions about the future, and how you support her growth alongside your own. Acting hastily in these moments can fracture trust. Waiting for the right moment to communicate or take action can heal and deepen bonds. This is the mark of a man who understands not just women, but life itself. So to every man listening, do not rush love. Let it come to you naturally, like a tide drawn by the moon's pull. Respect the process, respect her, and most importantly, respect yourself enough to walk at a pace that honours your true worth. Patience and timing are not signs of weakness. They are the ultimate demonstrations of power, wisdom, and control. Master these, and you will not just attract a woman, you will build a connection that lasts a lifetime. Rule 8. Women choose men who keep them curious. This is not a mere casual observation, but a principle rooted deeply in human psychology, echoed by Machiavelli's timeless insight. Control does not come from brute force, but from shaping perception. People don't act based on reality. They act based on what they believe to be real. Attraction works the same way. Women do not fall in love with what they fully understand. Predictability is the enemy of desire. Instead, they fall for the mystery, the unknown, the puzzle they are eager to solve. If you're a man who reveals everything about himself too soon, you kill the spark before it even has a chance to ignite. The more predictable you are, the more your power fades. When you leave space for her to wonder, to imagine, to guess your thoughts, intentions, and next move, you ignite her imagination. And imagination is the root of emotional connection. This is not just about playing games, but about creating a dynamic where you remain interesting, alive, and intriguing in her eyes. If you are single and meet a woman for the first time, resist the urge to flood the conversation with words and energy. Do not show desperation or overexcitement. Instead, practice the art of measured silence. Speak deliberately, with pauses that invite her curiosity. Listen more than you speak. Then, disappear without warning. Not because you don't care, but because your focus must remain on your own life and priorities. Do not chase her with texts or calls. Let the tension build naturally. When she starts asking herself questions like, where is he? What is he thinking? Who is he with? You have become a mystery worth exploring. This is power. It's not manipulation. It's the natural consequence of valuing yourself and your time. In today's world of instant gratification and constant connectivity, the man who knows how to withhold, who does not give everything away, commands attention and respect. For those already in a relationship, this rule applies with equal force. Do not mistake intimacy for total transparency. You do not owe your partner a play-by-play of your every thought or feeling as if reporting to a superior. You must guard a sacred part of yourself, an untouchable inner core that remains fiercely independent. Set aside time for your goals, your ambitions, and your solitude. By doing so, you communicate a powerful message. You care, but you do not lose yourself in the process. This edge of independence keeps her engaged. It is the tension between closeness and distance that fuels desire over time. If you make yourself fully available and predictable, you become ordinary. But by maintaining boundaries, you maintain the spark. She senses your commitment, but she also senses the mystery, the man she still wants to explore. Yet the wisdom goes deeper. Do not let her know everything. Instead, let her feel everything. True attraction is never born from clarity or certainty. It is born from tension and subtlety. Let her wonder about your thoughts, your focus, your intentions. Never rush to explain your value or your worth. Let it be revealed through your actions, your behavior, your presence. Your value is a myth you build piece by piece, not a story you tell outright. In the modern age, where oversharing and constant availability have become the norm, the man who embraces the power of mystery stands apart. Let your actions create intrigue. Let your silence speak louder than your words. Be the man who is not easily understood, but deeply felt. In everyday life, this translates to practical advice. Don't rush to answer every message immediately. Don't reveal your entire emotional state at once. Focus on your own growth, your passions, your work. When you meet her, be calm, be composed, be present but not desperate. If you're committed, keep your independence alive. Pursue your goals and keep some things private, not as secrets, but as a way to maintain your identity. Remember, attraction thrives in the space between knowing and wondering. Don't offer the map when what she craves is the adventure. This is not manipulation. This is the ancient wisdom of balance, being close but not clinging, showing care but not surrendering control. This lesson is a call to men to reclaim their power through presence and restraint. Do not be the open book that anyone can read at a glance. Be the man who writes a story worth discovering chapter by chapter. It is in this deliberate enigma, this sacred tension, that women find not only attraction, but respect, admiration, and a bond that endures. Your challenge is clear. Keep her curious, keep her guessing, and in doing so, keep her heart engaged. If you found yourself here, you've already done what most men refuse to do. You've looked in the mirror and told yourself the truth. You've stepped out of your comfort zone and into something real. What I'm about to say will leave a mark on you, one you won't forget. A woman doesn't choose with logic. She chooses with her body, her emotion, her instinct. She feels your energy before she understands it. And most men spend their whole lives confused because they never learn the rules she'll never say out loud. But now you do. Now you see what most men ignore. You see past the surface, past the words, the smiles, the attention. You've stepped outside the fog that keeps average men chasing validation, trying to prove themselves, hoping to be picked. Because once you understand how women really choose, you don't chase. You don't over-explain. You don't perform for approval you don't need. You lead, you filter, you observe, and you stand so firmly in who you are that no storm can shake you. This isn't about being cold. This isn't about playing games. This is about strategy, clarity, quiet power. It's what Machiavelli would admire in any ruler. Not brute force, but calm command. Not control over others, but control over self. And once you claim that power, you stop being selected. You start doing the selecting, because the man who commands his space, protects his standards, and leads his own life doesn't need to convince anyone. She feels it. And if she's the right one, she follows. If not, you walk without hesitation. Women don't choose the loudest man, or the nicest man, or even the richest man. They choose the one who moves with certainty, the one who can be loved but doesn't need it to stand tall, the one who could have her but never sacrifices himself to keep her. That man doesn't just get chosen. He gets remembered, respected, and desired even in silence. And from this moment on, that man is you. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. I truly appreciate your time, and I want to leave you with something important before you go. If you're someone who is serious about changing your life, about stepping away from the crowd and the usual way most people approach relationships and self-worth, this is for you. The truth is, most people don't realize how much of what they believe about attraction and connection comes from outdated ideas or shallow advice. But what I'm working on right now is going to change all that. It will give you a fresh perspective rooted in Old Stoic wisdom, timeless principles that have guided men for centuries, but that many have forgotten. This isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's about growing into the kind of person women respect and are naturally drawn to. It's about discovering confidence from the inside out, about being steady and calm in who you are, no matter what life throws your way. This shift in mindset and energy will completely change the way women see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. So stay tuned, because what's coming next is designed specifically for men who want to break free from the 99% and truly level up their life and relationships. I'm excited to share it with you soon. Now, if today's message struck a chord with you, I encourage you not to just let it fade away in your mind. Take a moment to write a comment below, even just a few words about what stood out. Writing things down helps your brain remember and digest these ideas more deeply. Plus, your comment might help someone else who's reading this and looking for exactly the guidance you found here. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button. Your support means a lot and helps this message reach more people who need it. And don't forget to share this video with someone you think could benefit from hearing it today. Sometimes the smallest nudge can make the biggest difference in someone's life. Above all, remember to trust your instincts. You have a built-in compass inside you that knows what's right. The world can be confusing and overwhelming, but your gut feeling and your deeper sense of self can guide you through. We're all trying to find clarity, connection, and purpose, and that journey starts with how you see yourself. When you start with respect and confidence in who you are, everything else falls into place. Changing your life isn't about rushing or forcing things. It's about steady progress, small, consistent steps, and being honest with yourself. Embrace the process, stay patient, and keep your eyes on what really matters. I believe in you, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. Thanks again for being here, for listening, and for being ready to grow. I can't wait to share more wisdom with you soon. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay strong, and keep moving forward.